against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Still the fault.
Good morning, folks. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Today's the day. Our season's on the line. If we do not go, through to the Champions League final where we'll be playing against Inter Milan, big up to you lot who was part of that watch along, and what a watch along it was. This season will be what we know it is, a complete failure. Where on the face of it, yeah, there's been injuries and it's been courageous that we've got to a semi-final and still been in a fight. We've made a mess of the Premier League. We're in the top box. Indirect, we're in the top 4 race. One win, we're in the top 4. But, regression if we don't finish second. Not that I'm happy to finish second. We got to 2 semi-finals. But if you don't get over the line, you could say it shows progression. But how far does that go? Because for the last 3 years, if we not able to seize this opportunity of getting to a Champions League final. Obviously, the last 3 opportunities we've had to win the Premier League, and this year's probably been the worst of it. We haven't done it. This is a chance, some of these players will never play in a game of this magnitude again. Now, I hope I'm wrong. Some of you, I hope, would do like Arsenal. Some of you, if you name Saka or Saliba, and for argument's sake, if you were to depart this football club, you'll probably play in it. Some of you will never. This is the biggest game in some of you lot's careers. Yeah, we've had good memories. The Real Madrid 2 fixtures will go down in folklore. But it's about seizing the present and creating history, something that will live on long after you lot die, let alone retire. And me, myself as well, you stand to be the first team in Arsenal history to win the Champions League, and we've got 90 minutes. Now, we are going to suffer. There's food for thought of how we approach the game. For both PSG and Arsenal, I'd say the one luxury is they didn't kill us. They should have killed us. They should have scored about 3-4. Now, they're probably going to believe Arsenal are battered and bruised psychologically. Both teams have had a bit of a slowdown domestically, us a lot more. How do they approach the game? Are they going to, we know we're going to go there. We're going to have moments where we're on top. We're going to have moments where we could suffer. The first leg provides a lot of food for thought, because watching the game again, we were probably more evenly matched in the second half. 20 minutes odd into the game, when Arteta went to a 4-2-3-1, we looked a bit better. But the be-all and end-all of the game is how we started it. 3 minutes in, we conceded. And from a neutral's point of view, the caliber of player PSG has, whether it's someone like João Neves, who's up there for interceptions and tackles, or Vitaya, who's up there for most passes completed by a midfielder. We all know what Luis Enrique does. We all know, how they, beat our press very well, how they pressed us into submission, the interchanging movement with their central midfielders and build-up play, the swap in the flanks and the individual quality. There's a lot of food for thought. The one thing I would say is, psychologically, you need to be at it. If anybody's not built for this today, regardless of how it pans out, don't ask Mikel Arteta to play. Now, forget the haters. What are they going to say? We bottled it. We missed an opportunity. Things that were said already. Go for it. We are going to suffer. Take the game to them. They gave us chances, and we knew we'd get chances. Villa got chances. Liverpool got chances. We got chances. But we know PSG will give us chances, as will we with them. Will we take them? Now, we'll see how the game goes. And I don't know if this automatically means anything, but, Partey being back is the best thing ever. Him back in the 6, Rice back in the 8, Marino up front. I'd personally go for Martinelli off the left-hand side. Trossard demoted to the bench, and we're at with Saka. Captain, I need a performance today. And yeah, man, obviously congratulations to Inter Milan. I personally would have preferred to play Inter, because I think you can kind of match them on a tactical front. You can't really account for the individual brilliance of someone like Lamine Yamal, who had another great game. Smash the like button and let me know your thoughts. It's 4 a.m. here in Toronto. Big up you lot, man. It's early just because, obviously later today we'll be live at 11:30. I've got to go and get some stuff done in my personal life. But always make time for you lot, man. You lot are the family, man. Smash the like button and big up you lot on Twitch, man. Hyper One Love. P, good morning, right back at you. We saw football royalty yesterday. Today, I don't care how we win, just got to win, just get over the line. Arsenal could potentially win the Champions League as long as they win tonight. I mean, you got a 50% chance if you get to the final, innit? Let's be honest, of the 4 teams that have competed in the semi-finals, I don't think anyone's invincible, but we are the weakest. Now, the best team does win the Champions League. because they've won it. They've been the best in Europe, but arguably the best team doesn't. Now, it's food for thought, and for Mikel Arteta, it's food for thought whether you're going to be an Arsenal manager long term or going forward. I'm sure there's plenty for Simeone, Inzaghi, and Hansi Flick to learn across the 2 legs they played and their philosophies. What Inzaghi does is very different to what Hansi Flick does. It's very different to what Luis Enrique does, and there's a lot of food for thought. Mikel Arteta, you do change little things in games. As I said, you went to a 4-2-3-1 and we looked a bit better. But in terms of substitutes, in the semi-final, it's unacceptable to wait to the 80th minute to take off Timber. Now, it's upsetting because we've got to 2 semi-finals and it's been a mixed bag. I would say it's a failure of a season if we don't win a trophy. I only say that because look at all of this, including the Madrid result. Imagine we had that forward, that left winger, the depth and the quality in the starting 11 collectively that we know we believe. I said it there. I'm happy to see Partey back. And obviously Partey not being there at the Emirates was a massive talking point, and probably the biggest talking point. But what should be the second talking point is Jorginho. And what should be the third biggest point on that is you've got no Partey, you've not got no Jorginho, you've got a small squad. Marino's in a bit of a purple patch up front. Declan Rice has really been putting in performances in the 8. You then have to kind of mitigate against one issue. You have to move people around, and we're not really that team that you can just plug and play certain players and we keep doing and we do better. I don't want to exaggerate the Thomas Partey game, but I always say I think he's a player that consistently has to stay in the side. He's come out the side for the PSG one, come back in against Bournemouth, and he looks sluggish. So I'm keen to see how we approach it. I'm keen to see, especially worst case scenario, we can see it again early doors. How do we think he there? You look at Inter and you look at Barca. Obviously, commiserations to Barcelona. Congratulations to Inter Milan. We can talk about the individual quality, the tactics, the missed opportunities, all of that, but mentality. Inter Milan, and they are still one of the best defensive sides in the Champions League. They've gone, they've gone 2 goals up, not made it, let the team back in, and they've made it happen. Same way with Barcelona. They've gone down, by 2 goals, found themselves back in it. Now, a lot of it is due to the caliber of the clubs and the ability, but it's a mental battle as well as everything. It sounds cliche, but it's a mental battle. We are going to suffer. And again, we're going to have to prepare now. Big up the France and PSG, and we're at, no 2 games are alike. But if you can do it at the Bernabeu, regardless of what you say about where Real Madrid are with Carlo Ancelotti and the players and the tactics and that, clearly, I believe Real Madrid are the better individuals. So you could say they're the better team, but I think Paris Saint-Germain are the better team. The philosophy, all of that, they're twice that of Real Madrid this season. So it is very difficult in that regards. But we know we didn't put our best foot forward, and even both teams really domestically. Now it's different for PSG because they've won the league. They've probably been resting players, focusing on the champs. It's been downers in the Premier League, but we've always, for the last few weeks now, we've had one eye on the Champions League. Brentford, Crystal Palace, obviously Bournemouth. We've not really got that momentum there. The sentiment around the club is bad. I'm sure the away fans will be making noise and rocking and things like that. But if you're Paris Saint-Germain, immediately you kind of want to play on that. Sophie, big up you, morning right back at you, and appreciate the luck. We need all the luck we can get. Hype up, big up yourself for becoming a member. What we drinking tonight, DG? It's either rum or champagne, man. Shit, man. Mazzolini, man. DG, I'm afraid Partey missing in the first leg has been overtalked by media and fans to the point where Luis Enrique would definitely have a plan for him. Naturally, there's going to be a plan for everyone. They stifled us in. Listen to what I said. The way they pressed us. Forget the pressing beyond the obvious. Like, obviously, we can't play football in that, but they cut out the passing lanes. How long did Kivior, Saliba, David Raya have to dwell on the ball, offer a bit more? They killed us with their press. They killed us with their press. Our press was shit. Let's be honest. Trossard and Odegaard, it was shit. They're just passing through it. The midfield, we had no plans. And I would say the one thing that annoys me is, Arsenal are one of the best sides. Maybe not so much, but we are one of the best sides in Europe defensively. That's not me saying we're the biggest and baddest. You know what time it is. Mid, deep, low blocks, compact unit. That was not there in the first opening exchanges against Paris Saint-Germain, and it's unacceptable. You might not be able to match them player for player on the ball, but what you can match is off the ball. What you can do is make it difficult for them. What you can do is behave like this is a cup final and a Spartan performance. That's all I want. We go out. It is what it is. We go back to the drawing board. I don't want no limping over the finish line, no pussycat stuff. 3-4 players are standing up to be counted. Other players are in the ball. I don't really care who, again, Saka coming back from a big injury, Timber coming back from a big injury, Odegaard feeling sorry for himself. I hear all of that. I don't care about none of that today. I don't care how you do it. Just make sure you do it. Even somebody like Odegaard, the way Declan Rice is on the field, let alone off it speaking, that's captain material. I know people question Odegaard's captaincy, rightly so, and he's going to be in the spotlight even more because of that. But the reality is, I wouldn't say people don't care, but nobody cares, man. When you just play well, no one cares. If you go and get 2-3 assists, I'm not going to say people are going to get off your back, but they're not going to care. I can't guarantee Arsenal are going to be in the I can't guarantee any of the 4 teams that have been in the semi-finals are going to be here next year. But you probably bet your bottom dollar Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, these kind of sides. Well, the teams that have been in the quarters and the semis, apart from us, you probably expect them to be there. I hope we're there. I don't know if we're there again. Because in the dream world, we would have won. We would have done a 3-peat in the Premier League, but we'd at least have 1 Premier League trophy, let alone 2, and we potentially have a Champions League final. So Mazzolini, man. But yeah, again, I just find myself thinking about the same thing, depth, whether it's being able to cope with players being out of form, different options. Obviously, somebody mentioned Partey not being there. How good would we feel if we had a number 9? Because they've got PSG got 2 number 9s. They got a false 9 with Ousmane Dembele, new lease of life in that role and doing quite well. And they do that. They got someone like Ramos, who a bit like Arteta. I don't think Enrique really likes out and out strikers, but they got the option. And let's be brutally honest, the game probably should have ended about 4-2 to PSG, if I'm being nice to us, because we had 2 chances with Saka and Martinelli that we should have bagged. Ramos and Bacola, again, 2 subs off the bench. Arteta, you need to be proactive. Probably should have bagged. Is what it is. And I said it at the time, but what annoyed me with the PSG game is when you isolate the fact that it's a semi-final and all the things I've been waffling about in this opening 13 or 12 minutes, people, it's on brand with our season. Manager taking long to make subs, brain fart. Not even a brain fart, because their goal from a neutral perspective was superb, but it was terrible from us, somewhat less terrible than making out watching it again, because even Fabian Ruiz with Declan Rice, the way they did decoy runners, but stupid goal conceded, Martinelli and Trossard, or just teams having half chances, the same old individuals with Rice, Lewis Skelly, a couple others standing up to be counted, taking long to make up subs. Ultimately, it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot worse. How many times have we seen that in the Premier League? And I hope Mikel Arteta give Berta a bit of a luxury because he just walked in, but Mikel Arteta, Berta, all of the sub-teams in and around them, anyone that has any big or small say on recruitment, you need to get the summer right. I'm not expecting you to do all of the business, and I've got all the depth I want and all the quality, but you need to do about 98 to 99.9% of that business, because it's not on. Players have been ran into the ground. The players have to take responsibility for their season. But if you look at Mikel Arteta, the players, and everybody that's at the club, with the exception of Berra, I've got the most luxuries for the players, because 2022-23, cool, fought for a league, didn't expect it. Last year, did our thing, got better in the Champions League, reintroduced into the Champions League, didn't get embarrassed against Bayern, went out, didn't win a trophy, cool. This season, I think, the bubbles kind of burst, if I'm honest, because I do think there's been complacency, there's been incompetence. We didn't build them. I think the issues, we weren't proactive in the summer. I'm not saying we didn't try to sign players, but we didn't sign what we needed to do. We weren't proactively reactive in January to bring in some stardust and things. And you can see with Kvaratskhelia what signing people in January can do. This can't be on. And this is the season where, remember, Declan Rice said, I'm sure we'll bring someone in January. The manager's playing Tierney left wing. This is where the bubble needs to get burst. And we're a good side. We've been one of the best in Europe and domestically for a minute. Not to say we're winning stuff, but that doesn't mean anything. We cannot rest on our laurels. We need to go to the next level. The pressure should be on. Whether the pressure's on, I don't know, because managers have been given a new deal. Their coaching staff has been given a new deal. I do, and I maintain it again, Mikel Arteta, I do think you're a good coach. When I park the fact that you're Arsenal manager and just look at you, I think you are going to have a good future. I think you are a good coach. I think there's so much innovative ways. I've been at press conferences. I think you got aura. I think you speak with conviction. I can understand why the players say what they say. That's all good. The thing is about getting over the line. You're a good coach. Are you a winning coach? I can't call you a winner because you ain't done that yet. Big up you for the 2 Super Cups, Community Shield. Shout out you for the FA Cup. There's been too much missed opportunities. The past brings regret. The future brings uncertainty. One thing about my team that annoys me is we never seize the present moment. I couldn't tell you if Liverpool genuinely believed in the summer that they could win a Prem, but they've done what they needed to do. An opportunity fell on their lap. They didn't fumble it. They ran with it. Newcastle the same, ending their trophy drought. City, I hope Crystal Palace do it, but in their worst season where they've actually led the Premier League for more days than us this year, such as this drag of a domestic campaign, they could get over the line. I don't want to trade domestic places with United 100%. I don't, but either way, they've been given opportunity to win the Europa, and barring a miracle, which I hope Bodo Glimt and Bilbao do naturally, because I don't want to support Man United, but I have to against Spurs. They've been given an opportunity. We never quite do that. You've got to 2 semi-finals. Now, congratulations to Newcastle. Nothing to do with Newcastle. But we all know, those 2 legs, unacceptable. The way we played against PSG by our standards, or the standards of us being in the first semi-final for 16 years, unacceptable. The Premier League, I don't even know if there's a word worse than unacceptable. Thesaurus Duns, help me out. Unacceptable. Probably the worst of the 4 competitions we've been in. Ultimately, we're not celebrating nothing. And this is the season where the bubble's burst. I'm not saying this doom and gloom, everybody's going to leave, but this is the one where if you're one of the players, Saka's a bit different because I actually think he signed his new deal. But for argument's sake, it's one where, honestly, you want to see what the club do. Not to dish your teammates and things like that, but I always wonder, how did the players feel in the summer with the window? How did the players feel in January? We need to evolve, and signings is only a part of it. Arteta needs to evolve tactically. You need to find a way to break down low blocks or fare a lot better. Your in-game management needs to change. You need to kind of will it back a bit, I feel, in that you kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. We all know. We saw it against PSG. We actually saw it against Newcastle. I'm sure when he brought on Sterling in the second leg. When he brings on subs, more time, there's not enough minutes to make anything happen, man. Martinelli, Odegaard ain't mentality beast. To be fair, it's more Martinelli's decision making. I don't question Martinelli's big game. I actually think Martinelli's got a big game mentality. I don't think he ever gets scared. It's just, we need you, bro, to get your head up, pass and assist. And again, respectfully to Martinelli and Trossard, you should be on the bench. We need an upgrade, because there is a reality sometimes of how good are you at your worst. And what I mean by that is, we could have said, PSG could have scored a lot more. But we could have been as rubbish as we believe we were against Paris Saint-Germain. You score 2 goals. I believe we probably should have lost it 4-2, but you could argue they scored their goal. They missed their other opportunities. Trossard and Martinelli bag. Maybe we stay on side for 1. And we're looking at this very different. We're potentially going into this with a lead. Obviously, when you watch a game across 90 minutes, you all know what you saw, but the game is dictated. The goals, and the end result somewhat dictates the narrative. Big up Halftime Hooks. Make sure you're following, man. Press us. Come on, man. Be mature, man. Be mature. Pause. Boarded DG. Score prediction tonight. Going with a 2-1 Arsenal to win on pens. Pens, you know. I'm going to be, if you ask me with my heart, I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. If you was to ask me with my brain, 3-1 PSG on aggregate. I think 2-1 on the night to them. We might even score early. And again, we're going to have to suffer, man. We're going to have to box smart, man. Man said, we'll be here for the meltdowns. Appreciate it. Hooks the top gooner. Marcel, he's a crook, man. 1 minute he's top gooner, then he's negative Nancy and that. He don't know what he is. He's in and out, shake it all about, mate. Barca know how to stretch teams, open the channels. And the thing is, Barca never stopped playing, bro. Like, they never stopped playing. Even when Inter were 2 goals up, they were the team that was on top, kind of thing. It's a good game of football, man. An absolute great game of football, man. And I hope it's a great game of football purely for Arsenal. I mean, I think when we've lost the first leg of a knockout stage in the Champions League, I think we've only won 2 of the 11. Interestingly, I believe at this moment in time, PSG have actually lost all their games against British sides. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it could be a positive omen of sorts for Paris Saint-Germain because, you know, we lost to Newcastle. Ultimately, they went and won the cup. You never know, man. Early morning waffle from DG. Stop giving the people false hope. You know you're getting slapped up. This guy, bro. Marcel, he's saying hate watch started for you too, my boy. Do you know what? You lot are dedicated to hating because it is 9:35 a.m. If he makes subs, I'm in the 70, 80 minutes. I'll be mad. Need refreshed legs as early as PSG press hard. I hear it, but who though? And I have no sympathy for Mikel Arteta because at the end of the day, you've got to use your bench. I don't care how shit it is. End of the day, whether I'm not saying to play young random players, but whether they're young random players, whether it's Tierney who probably wouldn't be at the club if you never got injured in the summer, whether it's Cini, you've got to try things. I'm not naive. I don't think he's going to do this, but I stand by this in the sense of I don't think Wanyeri's going to start. Odegaard, you got 45 minutes. if I was being nice, I'd say an hour. You got 45 minutes. Then, regardless of what people say about Zinchenko doesn't press well and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, you got to put him in the 10 or you got to slap Zinchenko left back. I know it's mad and bring on and put Lewis Skelly in midfield, or you got to do something with Tini. You got to do something. You have to do something. You have to. Your team is going to embarrass you while you're on big talk sport. Come on, lads. We're going to do it tonight. I hope so, man. Please, PSG, I need these Gooner tears. This guy's a hater, man. No way this team beats PSG with the way how they play. Martinelli needs to give Saka the tap in. He's done it so many times. It's tiresome. Give your teammate a tap in and the team wins. Try and be a hero, and it's 50-50 if he scores. I mean, you saw Dumfries do it for Inter Milan yesterday. The other players need to step up, man, because we saw, and it was interesting. Saka spoke about it. He's like, I was watching the game again to see which pockets of space I could take up. It was very interesting. You know, I had 5-6 players on me, which is normally the case with Bukayo Saka every week. But again, it's an exaggeration. But there's 11 players out there, yeah, for both teams. If 5 or 6 are occupied with Saka, well, go on for the rest of you. One of you can't go under the radar. Now, Saka, I need a bit of brilliance. You're the closest thing we got to, well, you are a magic player, but you need a magic player. I know you're not Yamal, and I think Yamal's the best in the world, but bro, we just need you, Declan Rice. We all know the players that we truly believe in. We need something, man. Bear Cup finals without reaching a final. Exactly, bro. Unfortunately, this is the reality, man. And that's another thing. I don't want to get to finals for the sake of finals, but we're not picked up enough domestic trophies, which obviously we all know, banter aside, even Marcel would agree, the goalposts will move, rightly so. We're not winning anything. If we're picking up League Cups and FA Cups, people still say it's not the Prem, it's not the Champs, it's not etc. But you're not doing that to at least say you're winning stuff. You're not getting to finals. That's why I don't agree with the Jurgen Klopp comparisons. I understand it to a degree, but there was a point Liverpool got to a couple finals and lost. We're not getting over the line in crunch time moments. And I don't know what it is. I think it's a bit of everything. I think it's a bit of, unfortunately, we are that club, really. We don't necessarily get over the line. I don't think we've got the stardust that you need. I don't think our manager is flexible to tactics. I think we've got this ability to shoot ourselves in the foot. There's a bunch of reasons. But as Kojo has said here, it is time to change the narrative, man. And I hope Arsenal are winning tonight. What is winning, though? And what is losing? I can't even be bothered. 4:35 a.m. on my side, fam. It's just dedicated hater, man. Look at the time. The chickens ain't even making noise. Waking up hating, I'm here for it. Submissive hounders everywhere. Give Odegaard 20 minutes, then take him off in the first half. Realistically, you know that's not going to happen, man. You got 45 minutes, and then you need to bet on Wanyeri or Lewis Skelly or Zini or Tini. You need to do something. We can't carry no one. Unfortunately, we can't carry no one. And we're carrying far too many players at crunch time in the season. So, yeah, man. Hit gym and get some chest, G. Why for watching next man's chest? And I always find that jarring, man. People just want you to just proclaim we're going to do a madness. Marcel woke up and chose hate. Who said I went to sleep? Fucking hell, man. Imagine having that much hate in your heart, man. Julian Nagelsmann giving 15 mil a year. See where we'll be in 2 years. Can forget that, man. The Inzagis of this world, the Hansi Flicks, the Luis Enrique's. Well, to be fair, Luis Enrique would be the one for me. We're not getting these, man. We're not getting these, man. Not sure what you're saying here, Michael, but I don't know. Love Arsenal, hate the ops. That's what we're on today. All the haters need to hit the like button at least. Exactly, man. Exactly. DG, I'm here in Paris. I big up you, man. Hopefully it's a game to remember. God, please allow me. I need this, man. But I will say this. If somehow we get through, don't you dare return from Munich without that Champions League. My heart can't take another final not winning, man. My heart can't take it, man. It's a disgrace if this boring team goes to the final. This manager doesn't deserve any trophy for playing like that. PSG 3, Arsenal 0. To be fair, you can criticize Arsenal in the way we play, but we would have earned the right. We didn't put a gun to no one's head. We didn't cheat no one. We won their games. Anybody who's in the final, whether it's what is on the case and actually what I think is going to unfortunately happen, PSG versus Inter Milan, they deserve it. They deserve it. I think Real Madrid personally win it next year. I think this was a year where a random team wins it. So, yeah, man. I don't know, man. I really don't know, P. Big up DG. Hope you're well. Can Arsenal do it? Honestly, first 20 minutes will show me all I need to know. I want to look. It's all about the psychological factors today, man. Like, if I don't see my players look like they're with it, tired. You better be doing a match reaction. You're running from the watch along your mug. Look at this guy. I'll be here at 11:30. There will be match reactions. Do I ever run? There's not going to be a watch along for Arsenal Liverpool, but I will be there. I will be there. DG, 8 years, 1 trophy. Just saying exactly. It's unacceptable. Well, Arteta would tell you 3 trophies, man. But yeah, man. A man said your show with Rats is going to hit like crack when Arsenal get knocked out. Big up Deluded, all love from a rival. Appreciate you, Micah. And there's a bounty on my head. They want me, man. They want me. But equally, make sure you're there. If you know what Arsenal fans hope happens. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're there. Want to see the same energy. I asked the footballing world, yeah. If you're an Arsenal hater, pray that we don't come back from behind and win this whole tournament. It's match day, man, at the Parc de France. It really is. I mean, Inter versus Barcelona. Surely that's the best semi-final we've seen. Probably in Champions. I might be exaggerating a bit because I still remember the El Clasico semi-final. I'm sure there weren't this many goals, but pound for pound, 2-legged qualities that we've seen 12, 13 even. Yeah, 13 goals. And could you imagine the heart rates of Inter and Barca fans? You've seen your Inter team go 2 goals up again, kind of F it up, nick the winner with Fratesi, who's got a habit of doing that. Not the first time, but flipping hell, mate. Flipping hell. Arsenal PSG will face Inter Milan in the Champions League final. We hope it's us. I think my captain, my record signing is bang on the money here. Arsenal need big balls and magic moments. Big bollocks, mate. Let your fucking nuts hang today, boys. I'll say that. Yeah, put your bollocks on the table and let's fucking go for it. Geezer settings. He's right. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's media duties, but where's Odegaard? Why isn't Odegaard giving these chattings? And where is he? Well, I'm pretty sure he's on Arsenal.com somewhere. Anyways, Declan Rice says Arsenal need big balls and magic moments. I hear you. Listen. I'm sure the best people to ask are your girlfriends for the size of the bollocks if you want to know that. But metaphorically, you're right. Magic moments. Who's capable of the magic moments? You did it against Real Madrid. Saka's good for it. Based on what I've seen in the knockout phases of this tournament for us so far this season, Marino. This is where again, you can't talk about the players that are not there, but this is where you need Magalhaes and these kind of mentality monsters. Shout Kivio, because you ain't put a foot wrong. Long may that continue. We're attempting to reach the first final since 2006. We need to have big balls. We need to go out there on the biggest stage and show that we're ready to play at this level. It's a semi-final. It's 90 minutes and added on time away from a final. I think that tells you everything you need to know. And as the game goes on, though, especially added on time, PSG got a proper squad and it's down to their competence and our incompetence. There's a lot of things that point in their favor, but fuck it, we have to go for it, man. I think the manager spoke to us as a group of players. Know what we can achieve tomorrow night, and it's a game of football. We can go out there and we can achieve something great for this club, and that's what we want to do. Well, we obviously know we're 1-0 down, but we have full belief, full positivity that we're going to go out there and win tomorrow night. I hear that positive mindset, thoughts become things, law of attraction, Robert Greene. I hear all of that, and I want you to have all of that. But at the end of the day, football's a simple game. Pass when you need to pass, score when you need to score. Gaffer, we need tactics, my guy. We need tactics. And we did struggle to contain. And you just have to box smart. You can't contain PSG. We're going to have to withstand the periods of pressure. It's going to be a nail-biting one. You felt in the first leg there was a lot of movement in midfield. PSG, run around so much and create a lot of space for each other, which was amazing. They don't look at what Fabian Ruiz does. Go and look at his run and how it takes timber. Go and look at what it does initially to Declan Rice. Go and look at the other side. Arteta needs to cope with that, because that is the thing that peed me off the most. We weren't compact enough. The shape wasn't there. We've done it, well, maybe not so much this season, but in the last 2 years, I've seen us defend amicably against City, against Liverpool, against Real Madrid, and many a top team. You can't do all of that to F up against PSG. So he's right, man. Food for thought for both managers, man. I'm sure Enrique, their stuff he'll tweak, and he said they're going to stay true to their ideas, whatever that may mean. The way they moved between the lines was really, really smart. But once we worked out how we can beat them, obviously we missed a few chances. But in terms of how we're driving with the ball, giving our wingers one-on-one opportunities, chances started opening up, bro. Lewis Skelly should have an assist. Martinelli, man. Trossard, man. But again, we've seen this several times last season and this season. Certain things needed to happen in the summer. Hopefully they do. I think tomorrow night we need to do the same. Apparently, Arteta also said he's always talking about having someone deliver in a magic moment. Brother, forget it, man. Just forget it. I think in that game against Madrid, obviously, I was able to produce 2 free kicks, which were incredible. But tomorrow night, a semi-final set up for someone else to maybe get that magic moment. Nah, dead that. It's your time. Hopefully it's me again, but you're going to need a moment of magic to win a game. And as a team, we're going to need that. So tomorrow night, hopefully we can deliver something special. We're here to make history, said Arteta. I mean, we're going to have to make some history. You know, history doesn't point in our favor, but, you know, it's what it is. And we did lose to Bournemouth. And Arteta did speak after the Bournemouth game about using the anger that smashed the like button, the anger, the hurt, all of that kind of crap in this PSG game. Please, I'm not saying you're wrong. Just make sure I see that that is reflected. Because the beautiful thing about football, you got to do the talking with the feet. Fair play. We are a win away from being in a Champions League final and in one of the most beautiful cities in the world against a great opponent. It doesn't get much better than that. We're here to make history. We have a big opportunity tomorrow. We bring a result from the first leg that gives us so much clarity about what we have to do. A lot of learning from the first leg as well and how small the margins are between the two teams. The result, in my opinion, should have been very different to that one. Well, it wasn't. So tomorrow, another opportunity to prove that and the right to be in the final. I mean, again, one win away from being in the final. Let's not do the talking. Let's do that tomorrow on the pitch at 9 p.m. when the game starts to show our best version and win the game. Okay, Gaffer, fair play. Can't disagree with that. Arsenal silence Real Madrid and can do the same against PSG. Please, tranquilo, man. Obviously, there was so much talk about Real Madrid coming back. A lot of their players were saying straight from after the game that they were thinking about next week. Knowing that a lot of us were going to the Bernabeu for the first time, we knew it was going to be a difficult night, even with a 3-0 lead, because special things have happened there in the Champions League. But like I said, we coped with the pressure really, really well, and we put in a really, really good performance. Fair enough. And I'm sure tomorrow night you're going to see the same type of performance from this team because we rise to big occasions and we're going to do it again. Certain, man. But I hear it. You're not going to say anything less, man. And we've gone over the magic thing as well. Bro, he's the people's captain, ain't he, man? Speaking of our actual captain, you know, I'm not trying to scapegoat or create a pile on people, but we have got to go over this. I happened to see this as I was preparing what we was going to talk about this early morning. Big up you lot for joining me, people, especially, you know, those of you overseas, man. People saying it's 4 a.m. and whatnot. When Arsenal perhaps needed Odegaard most last week, their captain went missing. Damn. It wasn't just him. As an Arsenal unit floated in their first leg, you know what? We know we missed football. We know that. Please, where's the things that matter? Since the turn of the year, his performances have lacked their usual sparkle. His touch and crisp passing have been off, and there have been concerns that he has lacked the durability that represented a cornerstone of his game, which is true. Odegaard did not register a shot on goal at the Emirates last week, created just one chance and completed just 4 forward passes. While there was more signs of life against Bournemouth at the weekend, providing the assist for Declan Rice opener, his reluctance to shoot and tempered touches were present again. His alarming dip in creativity has sparked suggestions Arsenal may need to add to their squad in that department this summer. Really? I know Odegaard's form's falling off a cliff and it does raise in question, but really? We were saying all of this. We want another 6. We want an 8. We want a 10. We want a left winger. We want a forward. Probably need another left back. Need to sort out the goalie situation. That's one thing that pees me off about the media. They act like these problems, and some Arsenal fans, to be fair, these problems just... Any issues we've had this season, you haven't discovered them this year. You really haven't. Unless is Lewis Kelly going to be a left back or a central midfielder, or where is Wanyeri going to end up? There's not, or what does Timber mean for Ben White, which isn't really one. There's nothing you've learned this season. At a push, maybe are we taking, you know, are we jumping the gun selling Kivior? Odegaard's range of motion impeded 100%. I do think he's not over that ankle injury. I do think he's going to need to have surgery and all of that kind of stuff. But that's parked off on the side. I believe that, but I also believe, while it's commendable that, you know, people talk about you being a captain, you're not hiding in the sense that if you are struggling, you're still going out there. But at the end of the day, maybe you do need to be pulled out the firing line and you are fit to some degree. You've been playing for a minute. And as much as I believe that, I can't see that. My job is to just be a decent human being, read the press conferences, see what you do on the weekend. You're playing. What's going on? We're not seeing you press well. We're not seeing you, you know, we're not seeing you get goals or assists. We're not seeing you dictate the tempo. We've got nobody else. We're carrying you. But range of motion impeded probably. Stephen Smith, CEO and founder of Kitman Labs, which specializes in injury welfare and performance analytics, working with the Premier League, believes it is simply the case Odegaard needing more time. The nature of the injury means the midfielder's range of movement can be impeded for some time. Whether it's your star man and captain and the sparkle in your team getting injured, whether it's the 3 hamstring injuries, whether it's suspensions, again, it goes back to we need quality and quantity. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. In life, they say when it rains, it pours. And if the summer like was the start of like we're standing outside, we can see the clouds, we know it's gonna rain. We didn't get a jacket, we didn't get an umbrella, we did not find shelter. So when it rains, it pours. Two things I stand by what I said in the summer. I said we're either gonna go up several levels this season or we're gonna regress. I think we've seen that. And I'd also said I'll have sympathy for the fans and the players. I won't have sympathy for Mikel Arteta or anyone that's in charge of any recruitment. If we obviously I couldn't predict this level of injuries, but if we suffer from that, because we've seen in the last few years, even what one injury could do, which we had a clean run with injuries last year, we still miss key players. We all remember the year before Saliba. We've got learned experiences from seeing City with Rodri. I'm sure there was a season Liverpool, so many players got injured. Chelsea the same, United the same. We know depth is vital. We've seen it at our football club. So we'll have to see. But more telling, the impact of a 3-month layoff, returning mid-season where there's very little time to do anything other than get through games, has almost been forgotten with the demands for Odegaard to do things his body is still working towards, piling pressure on the Gunners captain, which is commendable, but then it's negligence then. We're putting you in the firing line then, and you wanted to play. I'm not saying this is without valid claims, but it don't really go far. End of the day, semi-finals, we ain't got time for this. 3 months is a long period of time when you're playing at that level. You are suddenly no longer doing all the tactical work, all that technical work. It's not like coming back into preseason where you have time to fine-tune those skills. You're coming in and your team is trying to win the league and you're expected to jump straight back in. My instinct is he just needs more time. Well, you're going to get all the time you need if we go out, where he is not just going from game to game, but time to go away and work on some of those technical and tactical aspects and fine-tune his skill set. And one thing that's going to annoy me is, God forbid, if we got the Champions League today, now you're going to see Wanyeri playing Odegaard's role. Now that as there's nothing really to play for this season beyond pride. Odegaard right now will probably be able to rack up 10 to 13 km a game still, but there's a difference in being able to do that and being able to do that while twisting and turning. And that, again, negligence, because Odegaard is almost one of the first defenders in this high pressing team. So negligence. Get Wanyeri up to speed with everything off the ball, and we've got another option there. And turning and spotting things out of the corner of your eye, playing on the half turn and then executing the pass, being able to coordinate all those pieces at the same time, that takes a while. Match fitness isn't just about having physicality, it's about bringing all those technical aspects together to develop the sharpness that we usually see. Will Odegaard need surgery this summer? The prospect of surgery this summer has been discussed by some worried Arsenal supporters online, a situation that could see the midfielder miss a chunk of pre-season going before going again. Those ankle injuries are difficult injuries to rehabilitate. If you put too much pressure on it at any time, it flares up. Even after once you are back, you have to be managed, and it can still take a while to be able to do all those things you usually do. Your range of motion can be impeded for some kind of time. There are some cases where if you don't get that full range of motion back, you have to go in and get operated on to give them that range. But he has had a lot of game time. He certainly has the capacity to withstand the load. Odegaard has come back and he's playing so regularly, I don't think it would be likely. It doesn't look like he has any physical impediments right now, I think. Well, it's what we knew already, isn't it? It's what we knew already. What has Declan Rice said here? Apparently the manager's helped change his mindset. Just want specifics here. Me and the manager had this conversation. He said to me after training a few months ago, with your ability, you should be scoring and assisting way more. I totally agree with him. Sometimes the ball's wide. You've got to have that feel to get in the box and score the goals. And I think I've really started to get that. I mean, you are our only realistic, consistent goal scoring kind of guy at this moment, bar Bukayo Saka. And we saw that against Bournemouth with them late runs. Getting into the box, making runs in behind, creating chances for others. I'm loving that part of the game. And the thing is, we need to be a bit unpredictable, because we're going to do the inverted thing. With Partey back in, how we're going to operate. With Rice with those third man runs. PSG have that ability to stay true to themselves, but provide a bit of unpredictability. For whatever reason, a variety of reasons, we're unable to do that until we actually do it. To score an assist, you've got to really love it. And I think my mindset's changed. Maybe in my time at West Ham, I wasn't bothered as much about scoring and assisting. I just wanted to play well as a youngster, impress the first teamers, stay in the team. Now I've come to Arsenal last year. I didn't score a lot, but this year I've done really well. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's a weird feeling, because in the quarterfinals, we were 3-0 up going into the second leg. Now we're 1-0 down, but we're 90 minutes away from a final. There's just been a confidence and belief. There's just been something in this Champions League campaign that we can do it. We will do it tomorrow night. We would have that full belief. We know what we can do to hurt them tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure you're not going to see two teams sitting back. I think you'll see two teams going at it. You want to go gunshot for gunshot with them? Commendable. This season, I started a bit slow. I think that was due to a lot of things. I spoke about being off the back of the Euros and such a short time break coming back in. Mentally, it was really tough to adapt after such a long season. But once I found my feet again, I started to put in consistent performances and started to see the best of me again. The last month has been really positive. So hopefully we can finish this season. Well, fair play. Fair play. Arteta has said, this is just purely food for thought. Winning trophies is about being in the right moment, in the right place. Liverpool have won the title with less points than we have in the last 2 seasons. With the points of the last 2 seasons, we would have had 2 Premier League titles, which I agree with, but that's the whole point. You got to be in the right place at the right time. There's no ideal scenarios. What was required yesterday isn't required today. There was a time you could go invincible with 12 draws, 13, 14 draws. Where does that leave you? Rice and Partey need to bully them. That's the only way. 2 man can't bully them, though. To be honest, the midfield battle is the only place I think it's beyond the obvious of the quality PSG have is where it's quote unquote even. You can't bully them. They just pass around it. For me, if I don't see us compact and if the press is shit, I'm going to be very angry. If the injury is hindering him and he needs surgery, why is he playing? Is this another thing going against the manager? It's probably just soldiering it, but again, it's incompetence. Seen the ops online gone from you don't stand a chance versus PSG. If you beat PSG, you won't beat Inter. We got them worried. Forget the outside noise, man. DG, yesterday I was in the ground. Arteta and Rice came out for a pitch watching inspection. No Odegaard. Maybe the captaincy is changing next season. I hear it, man. Big up Aaron Talks Arsenal, man. Make sure you're following him. Tough game tonight. Big up, bro. Don't have much hope and expectation for tonight. Can already see that desperate Tierney and Sterling sub as we try to chase the game. Sterling to make himself a hero. Over 100 people in here. Smash the likes. You don't want unexpected high bills, and you've seen the cost of living, folks. Are you guys really and truly happy that we don't win things under Arteta? You've got to ask yourself that question. Dead. As I said, Arteta, I think you're a good manager. You're not a winning manager. Every year you don't win, the question is going to get bigger and bigger. Now, I would just succumb to praising and critiquing where fair. There's no point. There's no point because for me, the Arteta thing is redundant. You never know. You know, if you win major things or if we somehow get worse, then something needs to be done. But at the end of the day, once again, Bert has just walked in. His coaching staff and himself have been given new deals. There's always context and reasons behind it. And it depends how you look at it because you could paint Arsenal as commendable losers or you could be very negative. At the end of the day, it's going to say 2 semi-finals, your first semi-final in the Champions League in 16 years. No excuses for the Premier League, but factored around injuries, they'll kind of hold that. FA Cup, it went to penalties. That's the sort of leverage you'll hide behind. The only way this fan base will be united is when we win stuff, and everyone's got vested agendas. Some people are more loyal to hating Mikel Arteta than actually supporting Arsenal. And definitely there's some people, I believe, that like Arteta and the image of Arteta way more than they love this football club. Both sides are kind of wrong, in my opinion, which is quite jarring, really. That's why I just given up with it. It's at where we're at, man. Starboy time, PSG can't handle this. You might not get another chance like this again, so you have to go for it. Amen. PSG 100% will have a tifo. Yep. He triggered so many sensitive Liverpool fans with this quote. I don't think he's wrong. By the end of the day, I'd prefer to be in Liverpool's place, innit? Less points. Liverpool have won the league with less points than a couple, but that's not their fault. The league dictates that. Liverpool have done what needed to be done. We haven't. And again, my point of this is not to catch people out, yeah. But Arteta vows Arsenal will turn rage, anger, frustration of defeat on PSG. That's what he said after Bournemouth. I'm not even necessarily saying you need to win to prove that. Let me see that in the performance. Let me smell that when I watch us play. We're here because we deserve to be. That's what Mr. Luis Enrique said. I think everything is relatively straightforward. For example, today we talked about the things we can improve in attack or defense. We're able to train to improve those areas. Dembele's there, by the way. We got here thanks to all the work that's been done. We have to try and take advantage of what happens before, during, and after the match. We're here because we deserve to be. We won the first match, and tomorrow's objective is to win the second. There are a lot of potential keys, but I think we have to show the confidence that our supporters have shown us in terms of effort and emotional intelligence. Listen to what he's saying. There'll be details we can control. We're going to have to stay true to our ideas we've had so far. So I might tweak things, but we're playing the exact same way we've been playing. We're going to go into this match and build on our strengths. If things don't go our way, we'll be competitive enough to turn things around. I hear that. I was lucky enough to know Mikel when I was a player. We were together at Barca. I remember a player with strong character. He was a great player. He's a great coach. We saw that with his work at Arsenal, and it's clear that the match will be difficult as it was in the first legs. On strengths, honestly, I don't believe that any one area of the team is superior to others. You're a goddamn liar, Luis Enrique. Managers are liars, man. Regardless of the players, that's one of Paris Saint-Germain's great strengths this season. We're not a team that speculates. No matter who our opponents are, it's not easy to do. You have to follow very clear principles. All coaches have an impact on players and their teams. Throughout my career, I've always said that I have excellent players at every club. I try to bring individual and collective skills. Since last season, the team has received a lot of praise. That was one of my objectives, to offer the fans an attractive way of playing, like going to the cinema or a show. It's very positive that people are talking about us. I wish my gaffer spoke like that still. Apparently, Luis Enrique is not underestimating us, people. I have the same feeling that I had before the match, that they were a great team. They are a great team. It was tight. It could go any side, but I think we competed very well. And that's the second leg, a match at home, which means we can feel the spirit of our supporters. And Arteta, you did say you'd prefer to have the second leg at the Emirates. So if I was being a bit naive, maybe that's cause for concern. We are happy. We are trying to win the second match again. It's going to be difficult, of course. And obviously, Dembele is going to be there. Hakimi has said we cannot wait to start. We feel pretty excited. We cannot wait to start the match tomorrow. We feel like it's a game that if we play together and we win in the way that we do, we take more confidence in us, in the team, and we feel stronger. So we also have to use it at home with our fans in our stadium. That's a strong point also. It doesn't matter against who we play. We want to win. We want to go forward. That's what we have in our mind, and we have to continue like that. Of course, we've played before against English teams. We know how they are, and we have to continue like we do. Fair play. He said something about, I'm trying to find the Hakimi comments. He spoke about like the atmosphere and how it could make Arsenal shook and whatnot. 50 more likes from you, have 100. If you've hit the like button, God bless you. I don't know if it's the most exciting match. No, that's not what I want. Big up Donnarumma. If it goes to penalties, it's long. Luis Enrique, we know how good the midfield is, people. Sincerely, I don't think there's a single line in the team that is superior to the other one. Sorry, we've seen that. Arsenal have a 1-goal deficit to recover from. It might seem easy on paper, but we are just going to try to repeat what we've been doing from day one until now. We want to be aggressive, I think it means show our personality on the ball and repeat areas of our play with the quality that we have. I feel we have an advantage, and I'm very confident. Dembele will be there, man. Fair enough. It's a very good question because I don't know. There are several potential keys. Also, I think we've seen this already, people. So, yeah, man, we're going to have to stand up to be counted. The atmosphere is going to be incredible. We want to send a very clear message to the fans. We're going to give our all for the team to make them proud. There have been difficult times. There's always been behind us, so they deserve to reach the final. Fair play. Where's the comments, man? I ain't even read them. Big up at Donnarumma again. He might give us a goal. Let's take advantage of such. We're bound to suffer because our opponents don't have a favorable result. We need to match our performance as closely as possible in the first leg to win the return leg and stay true to our ideas. Fair enough. But, you signed someone in January and it helped you. Fair enough. Anyways, where Arsenal are concerned, Mikel Arteta has provided fitness updates allegedly on a couple of our players. Ricardo Calafiori has missed our last 10 matches after injuring his knee while on international duty. But the boss had positive news on the Italian in his pre-match press conference. How many minutes has he got in him? He's traveled, he's fit, and he's ready to play when we need him. So that's great news, which is good because we need people with mentality. He might be a loose cannon, but I actually think Calafiori is on it. He did very well against PSG in October, did very well in the City game. I do think you're on that. On Jurriën Timber, who wasn't involved, we'll assess him today, whether he can start the game or not. See depth. You've got a battered and bruised Timber, battered and bruised Calafiori, battered and bruised Calafiori, Timber, Benjamin White. Lewis Skelly in his 8-9 months as a footballer. I'm sure he's young, adrenaline, but it's not really fair. And this is why I say I've got the most sympathy for the players, not the staff necessarily. So, yeah, man, we're going to have to see. We are here to make history. We're here to make history, and we have a big opportunity tomorrow. We bring a result that gives us so much clarity about what we want. Sorry, I think we've seen that already, people. Just trying to make sure we got everything. Where is Mikel Arteta's press conference? There you go. On the belief to turn it around. Huge enthusiasm, huge energy. We are a win away from being in the being the Champions League semi-final. Do people proofread any of this stuff? In one of the most beautiful, we've actually read that already, but he clearly means final. Clearly, it's one of the most biggest games well, it is the biggest game as a manager in your career as an Arsenal guy. Yeah, one of the most beautiful for sure. I mean, again, one win away from being in a final. We cannot ask for anything else. Let's not do the talking now. Let's do it tomorrow on the pitch at 9 p.m. when the game starts. Show our best version of ourselves. We've gone over this. Oh, it's Luis Enrique's birthday. Hopefully we spoil that, man. On if he feels the players belong at this level. 100%. I think that's how you have to embrace and take the game, to make something special. As we said, to win the final of the Champions League, you have to do something exceptional throughout the tournament. We've done a lot of great things, but tomorrow in Paris against this team is the moment to do it. We'll evaluate the level of this team and start to make history. That's the opportunity we have ahead of us to do it. On if he'd preferred the game to be more calm and chaotic. We need chaos, I'll be honest. We need chaos. If it's calm, it plays into PSG's hands. If it's chaotic, it still plays into PSG's hands. But that's what we need. I think there'll be different moments, like you had the first leg. Obviously, the result brings a lot of clarity. What both teams have to do for us is even clearer. So that's it. And there are players on that team that have experienced that in many situations. So I was looking at the amount of times they've played ties and how many times they've tried, So we are here. This is our opportunity. We're going to make it happen. On our Champions League away form, I am in conviction that when we had to do it, we did it in a really convincing way against very difficult opponents. So again, the last one is very recent. It's Real Madrid against all the odds. Because obviously they were talking about all the comebacks in the history and what they did, and we proved something very different to what they expected. And tomorrow we want to do the same. On if there is pressure to win a trophy, we're going to try to do it this season. Winning trophies as well is about being in the right moment, in the right place. Liverpool have won the title with less points than we have in the last 2 seasons. With the points of the last 2 seasons, we would have had 2 Premier League trophies. That's not how life works, man. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. We'd all be a lot smarter. So you have to be in the right moment, in the right place. Hopefully we are in the right moment, in the right place in Paris tomorrow to earn the right to be in the final. And if we can erase the memories of our Champions League final loss in Paris in 2006, yes, it gives us the opportunity and it brings them to places that are so related. Sometimes it's a beautiful story, so let's make it happen. We've gone over Timber and Calafiori. On if the message of our players is to become heroes, it has to be in football. You're going to be remembered for those moments, the biggest stages when the team needs it, when the club needs it, to deliver those moments and playing with that mindset. This is the kind of game is, in my opinion, the right one, and that's the work that we have done in the last few hours. Don't really care about the referee. On if he can bring anything from his playing days at PSG to prepare, we know it's a beautiful atmosphere. On the motivation to win the Champions League. Well, I think it's within us. As you said, we don't need anything else. Now we need to use it to channel that energy, that emotion, that weakness that we all have inside ourselves to deliver and perform at the best possible level, at the highest level that each of us has to deliver tomorrow, the result that we need to be in the final. On Kivior, well, again, he deserves a lot of credit because he hasn't played too much throughout many months, and suddenly he's been thrown in to the most difficult context at the highest level, playing against the best opponents. When you haven't had that physical rhythm or confidence to do it, I think he's been exceptional. I don't think anyone can complain with that, if I'm completely honest. Arsenal, worst team ever. Doing too much, mate. Doing too much. My team feels so meaty right now. Pressure time. Pressure's for tires, man. I'm trying to block out all the noise, just going to sit and watch, hopefully breathe during 90 minutes. Defo breathe, my friend. That green and red jacket Arteta is wearing is kind of trash. Bit of AR. Inter or PSG to win it, probably. A man said he got out. Shout out Egal, but what's Egal got to do with this? I don't care if Timber has one leg. He has to be on the pitch tonight, I swear. Big up to you in school, man. Read your books, my friend. Retire as a quality player. If you lose tonight, you know the manager is going to get the blame, as he should. Big up Don. Everybody should get the blame. The players, everybody. Same way Arteta would get praise. I'm not saying you're saying this, but one thing that annoys me about the vested camps that talk about Arsenal is nobody just says the truth. And it's a thing where when we win, it's all the players. I mean, it's all the gaffer. When we lose, and some people feel this way, genuinely, especially those on social media that have vested agendas. It's all the gaffer. When we lose, it's anyone but the gaffer. And I don't think that's fair. I think if you rate the manager, there's nothing wrong with you rating Arteta, but if you rate him, you got to hold it, and he wins a game. You did your thing. When you lose, you can't have standards. Like Mikel Arteta, I do feel people look at him like Phil Foden or Cole Palmer. They get all the praise when they're bullying the little teams, and then when they're looking shaky, there's questions. I only said Cole Palmer because Don's there, but Phil Foden's the best example, man. Boy, we'll have to see. You gotta ask yourself, man, if we're a trash team, Elizabeth, you're here all the time, smash the like button. Why are you bothering to comment at 10 a.m.? It's not making sense, man. Haaland told you to stay humble, and then Gabriel told him we would be waiting for him at the Emirates. And what happened? See what he did there. And where is this thing that, and you can question mark Arsenal fans, but where is this rhetoric that Arsenal players are not humble? Where does this come from? Maybe it's because Lewis Skelly's been referred to as a thug. They tell us we don't show any emotion. We show some emotion. We're not humble. But don't let that get in the way of a good trolling session, man. But anyways, moving on. We're here to make history. I hope you do. What's Father Wenger said? Arsene Wenger is confident Arsenal have got what it takes to beat Paris. You owe it to this man. He barely comes to the Emirates and you put in that performance. At some stage, you have to win it. And this team is strong enough to win it, to win the Champions League or the Premier League. Wenger, you need to be inside the group to know that. I don't have that feeling, but we are a few years now where they have been very close. So maybe it has weight. But at some stage, you have to get it out. And the best way to get it out is to go out on the pitch and turn up and win a big game, a massive game. Tomorrow, they have the opportunity, which is obviously today. And the players know they have nothing to lose. I think the judgment is severe and not deserved. It should be severe. And it's the same for Chelsea, for Liverpool, for Arsenal, for everybody. It should be severe. This is big club business. And I wouldn't say it's not deserved. I'm not talking for effing and blinding and things without context, but balance, context, rational opinions, bro, it's deserved. Same way if you win this Champions League, waffle from the rooftops. What is all this about? I disagree with that, granddad. Big up my white granddad. But at some stage, you have to be there. At some stage, you have to win it. And this team is strong enough to win the Champions League or to win the Premier League. Then we would have done it, Gaffer. Granddad, we would have done it. I hope we can still do it now, but we would have done it. Unfortunately for them, Liverpool this year was a tough opponent. Nothing to do with Liverpool, but it is deserved. You didn't make a meal of this. This has never been a title race. Right. Credit to Liverpool. It's not their fault, but come on. This is deserved because we've shot ourselves in the foot. Nobody would have predicted that Liverpool would make up 15 points difference on the rest of the pack. Predict the unpredictable. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected Liverpool fall off. Nobody, even Spurs and United, well, definitely not United, neither Spurs. No one expected them to be where they're at. No one expected us to be in the semi-finals. Nobody expected our top six record to look what it's looked like in the last few years. Everybody expected the 2022-23 season, the following year, we'd fall off. Expect the unexpected. How far does that go, man? I'm confident they can overturn the first leg and that they have the needed quality. But of course, you need to have a great offensive performance. But you need as well to be capable to stop this PSG team, to stop them expressing their talent, which is not easy. They're playing at home. They can smell the final. It'll be difficult to stop. They got a manager who's won it. A couple players have been in them scenarios as well. I do think we need to keep that 4-2-3-1. That helped us to some degree, people. PSG did overwhelm us in the first 20 minutes. They had 77% of the ball. They obviously scored. When we did change, it made something happen. And even the way they used Nuno Mendes in build-up plays, like a third centre-back. So I do think there's weight in that. Get Odegaard deeper to dictate play with Saka. Show bravery and aggression like Villa in the second half blitz. I agree with that. Channel that risk-taking football into set-piece advantage. Arsenal scored 14 set-piece goals in the Premier League this season and produced expected goals XG of 15.91 from dead balls. But even that, if you're PSG, we've been shit at defensive set-pieces. I don't know how good they are scoring from them. That's food for thought. More than anyone in the Europe's Big Five leagues. Meanwhile, PSG have conceded 10 set-piece goals in Ligue 1, 6 from corners, amounting to 30.35% of their total goals against. That's by far the highest proportion in France and the sixth most in Europe's Big Five leagues. Yeah. By God's grace, we do something, innit? But Lewis Skelly ain't humble. Come on. Clearly he's humble. All he does is charity work. God forgive him for showing personality. Not even going to read the rest of that, mate. Bearing in mind, you're talking about him staying humble. Haaland said, "Who are you?" in the first game. He chucked it back. Don't let that get in the way of chatting shit, man. Shout out Foden. Doesn't negate anything I've said. The golden boy that's been lapped by Palmer, been lapped by Saka, talking about building the England side around him. Take him out that City team, let's see. But it's cool. We're going to see the real Phil Foden very soon. There's no Kevin De Bruyne or there's none of these guys. Generational talent, never expected to do generational things. Mikel Arteta is called a generational manager. Some people never hold him accountable to generational things. That's my point. My team feels so me. Yep. Imagine having that much hate for a man you don't know, Marcel. 4 in the morning in America hating on Mikel. You like him really, innit? You fancy him, innit? Your missus has got to look out. Where transfer news is concerned, allegedly, people, Arsenal have made significant progress in their pursuit of Victor Gyökeres, and fresh talks are scheduled to take place with Sporting after the Portuguese Cup final in late May. The Sweden internationals emerged as Arsenal's priority centre-forward target since the appointment of Berta as the club's new sporting director, and the Gunners are now edging closer to finalising an agreement to sign the 26-year-old. Smash the like button, people. Recent reports have indicated that new discussions have taken place with Gyökeres' reps, but we've been informed that no fresh meetings have occurred. In fact, sources close to the situation say all the parties are already aligned on a proposed contract package. So you've said two contradictory things there anyways, but Arsenal are yet to agree a deal with Sporting, however, and we understand the Portuguese giants are expected to demand a significant chunk of the transfer fee up front, potentially even the full amount. This may complicate Arsenal's pursuit, although talks have been scheduled to take place after Sporting's Taça de Portugal final against Benfica on the 25th of May. We also understand that Gyökeres is yet to be directly involved in talks with Arsenal, with the Gunners instead negotiating with his reps up until this point. 52 goals and 12 assists. I wish we had it in 42 appearances. I wish I had you in the squad already. He's got 3 years left on his deal, people. We're still linked with Isaac, Sesko, Watkins, and Gyökeres, as you can see there. Moving away from that, Kudus to Arsenal. Kudus links have been resurfaced. West Ham would accept 70 million euros from Arsenal for Mohamed Kudus. I don't know for the credibility with this. Is he worth 70 million? Great player, but 70 million euros, what's that, about 60 odd? Good player, but primarily plays off the right, can play in a bunch of positions. Should have probably bought him when he was at Ajax, to be fair. Not sure I believe that, but let me know your thoughts. I would love Morgan Rodgers. Again, not sure I believe this, people. Arsenal are keeping a close eye on Aston Villa star Morgan Rodgers ahead of the upcoming summer transfer window. The 22-year-old has enjoyed a breakout season under Unai Emery, and he's now being monitored by a host of top clubs across the Premier League after establishing himself as a full-fledged England international. You're not leaving Aston Villa for us. But anyways, Football Transfers has been told that Arsenal sporting director Berta is a huge admirer of Rodgers, and while Aston Villa are reluctant to sell, the Gunners believe there could be an opportunity to strike a deal this summer. The England star is under contract at Villa Park until 2030. It's going to take a shitload of money. The Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, PSR, could force Emery's side to sanction a sell if a big money offer is received. I'm not sure for Buendia, but I think he's either left and gone Leverkusen, or there's an option to buy for them. They've sold Duran. They're probably going to sell Watkins. There might be a couple other players in and around before even Ramsey's been linked with a move away, before they look at selling my man. I'm not sure if this makes sense. Would love Rodgers, because I do think we need those dynamic runners in midfield on a consistent basis. Not sure I believe it though, man. So who knows, man. The England star, we know over that. Sources close to the situation state Rodgers is eager to continue playing Champions League football next season after impressing in, and Villa still got a chance in Europe's elite competition this year, and he could be tempted to leave Villa if they fail to qualify for the tournament. I'm having him. We're still linked with Garcia, the goalie of Espanyol, Martin Zubimendi, Nico Williams, and Victor Gyökeres. Chelsea have been linked with Rodgers. Man United have been in there as well. Arsenal are now firmly in the race to acquire his signature this summer, as Arteta looks to oversee a fairly sizable squad overhaul ahead of the 2025-26 season. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta allegedly has greenlit a move for Leicester City youngster Bilal El Khanous, according to a report. Been linked with him in the last few weeks aggressively. Leicester are getting relegated. I'm on signing him, people. Apparently, he can leave his club for less than 30 million euros. So what's that, 20 odd? Fair enough. Arsenal have been linked with a surprising move for the Moroccan recently, and the outlet claims that Mikel Arteta has approved a potential deal. It is asserted Arsenal could look to test the waters with a 26 million euros offer, although Leicester will likely hold out for a little more considering his value and the fact that they spent 22.5 million euros on him. The report states that Arsenal are confident El Khanous would be a shrewd addition this summer. I'm having him. Versatile, technically proficient, 20, a lot of upside. Scored against Spurs, so he's a friend of me. Monna would take Rodgers. Eze or Reinders would be fine too. Gooner, last night's Inter's W came from the whole team. Can you see that happening tonight? I can only see as far as I can see. I can't predict the future, but we have to put our best foot forward, man. Really and truly. Massive night for your club. It is, man. It is. Big up yourself, man. Appreciate you. We know Foden had a generational season, bro. Listen, don't get twisted. I'm bantering. I like Foden, but where is this generational season? When he can get Prem Player of the Year, but how many times have we seen dodgy players given awards? When have we seen this consistency? When has he had a generational season? Generational. He's had good season, but generational. Generational. Haaland can chat his mash works. What's Skelly done? Skelly's done his thing. It doesn't matter. You chat shit back. What does that mean? What? Because you're big Haaland and I'm been in a professional environment for 2 minutes and you're chatting shit to me, I can't chat shit back. Haaland that was doing the most with Arteta, but again, you're agendaing. You're not speaking common sense. Come on now. Doesn't matter. Don't care if you've won 1 million Premier Leagues or none. Someone chat shit back. The fuck? What am I talking about? It's nonsense. So if you're playing if you're playing, I don't know, Man City and Kevin De Bruyne is there and he gets into it with Conor Bradley, what has Conor Bradley done in the game? Yes, he's won a Premier League title, but he ain't done it as a mainstay. He's been a player for 2 minutes. That doesn't make sense. Bradley would have been within his rights to chat shit back. What are we talking about here? It sounds great, but it's not common sense. Marcel, you're better than that at trolling. At least make it make sense, man. Your head's getting hot. You need to go to sleep. It's been 4 a.m. You know, Els asked you, have you been sleeping? Clearly you ain't been sleeping. You've been up all night. Put the liquor away, man. Put the brown paper bag away, man. Stop drinking a 40. Smash the like button, though, people, man. Marcel's just trolling, man. He's part of the furniture here. But moving away, Arsenal and Chelsea allegedly are reportedly among the teams to have submitted a direct inquiry about a possible summer move for Fiorentina centre-back Pedro Comoso. The 20-year-old has enjoyed a breakthrough campaign at Fiorentina and he's attracted several Premier League sides. Apparently, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle United, Brighton, Bournemouth, AC Milan, as well as Juventus and Napoli are all monitoring him. But there you have it there. He's apparently agreed a new long-term contract at Fiorentina. So these names are probably being thrown into the mix for no reason. With Arsenal and now Chelsea now extremely unlikely to sign Comoso this summer, they'll likely focus their attention on finalising a deal for Bournemouth star Dean Huijsen. The Spain international is one of the most sought-after defenders in world football. Arsenal and Chelsea are set to battle Liverpool for his signature ahead of the 2025-26 season. All clubs are vying to sign in this summer following an excellent debut campaign at Bournemouth. Reports indicate Huijsen is expected to leave the South Coast club after just 1 season. Crazy, isn't it? And they could even be losing Zabani as well. Fire sale. What's this? Bournemouth have resigned themselves to losing him. So they're looking at Nantes wonder kid Nathan Zeze. He was linked with Chelsea. So they're finding replacements. Once again, these 3 clubs are battling it for a signature, people. On Monday, it was claimed that the Blues had managed to secure a buy-in from Huijsen after presenting their project and outbidding Liverpool. Whether this turns out to be true or not remains to be seen. Fair enough. Who knows what's going to happen in that regards? Liam Delap rumours. Football Transfers understands Arsenal made an offer to Liam Delap's reps as they look to seek a supporting striker alongside a more experienced and proven option. I'm on that. I'm so on that. If you get me Gyökeres and Liam Delap and you get me a left winger, I'm on that. In April, we exclusively reported that the Gunners had added Delap to their shortlist of striker targets after Andrea Berta successfully convinced Mikel Arteta to switch up the club's transfer strategy. The Italian has provided a fresh perspective on the situation at Arsenal, and he believes that the North London side need to focus on securing elite players who can make an immediate impact and deliver silverware in the short term. This has seen the club shift their focus from Benjamin Sesko, whose release clause has now exceeded the 80 million euros mark, with Berta instead prioritizing moves for Victor Gyökeres and a younger, cheaper supporting striker to go alongside him. Berta has been impressed with Delap's performances in the Premier League this season and believes the Ipswich Town forward would be an ideal understudy to Gyökeres. Arsenal could make Delap offer, but is he going to get regular football? No, I wouldn't say Foden's a fraud. It's just I don't like quality players not expected to do quality stuff. Same with what I'm saying with Arteta. You can't gas him and then you're not doing the stuff you're gassing him for. And I think Phil Foden gets a lot more leeway than Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, even young Kobe Mainoo ever got, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, man, they're that perfect option, homegrown. But there's a World Cup to think about. Obviously, moving to Arsenal, any of the teams you're linked with, yeah, could boost your chances. But regular football, I'm not sure. It'll be great from a team perspective, but for him, is it worth making an intermediate step before you obviously go to, I don't know, an Arsenal, a Liverpool, Man United, a City, so on and so forth? I don't know. I really don't know. Who knows, man? We can now provide an update on the situation and reveal that Arsenal have formalised their interest in Delap. We're told the Gunners have made an offer to the 22-year-old's reps, outlining exactly how they plan to use him. Arsenal have informed Delap they are willing to match his demands, but they've also made it clear he would have to fight for his place and likely start out as second choice should Gyökeres or another experienced striker be signed. Apparently, it was reported on Monday, Arsenal and Gyökeres are fully aligned in their vision for the future, but but that more transfer meetings would be required as the Gunners still need to reach an agreement with Sporting, so his signing is not wrapped up yet. Arsenal, who have no immediate concerns regarding profitability and sustainability rules, are ready to pay Sporting's asking price for the Swede as well as the lapse 35 million euros asking price. So that's about 90 odd for both strikers, assuming the 60 odd Gyökeres discounted prices, right? And then you got to go and get a midfielder and whatnot. You would have seen earlier this week, Romano has basically said Jorginho's free transfer to Flamengo is wrapped up. Apparently, Arsenal are in serious talks with Dortmund over the signing of Jamie Gittins. Sesko's release clause has gone up to 80 million people. Apparently, his transfer is also possible without triggering the clause. Sesko will be allowed to leave Leipzig if a suitable offer comes in. Again, Real Madrid are now, they've been linked with Konate, Hodgson, and Saliba now. Apparently, Real Madrid are now in contact with Saliba's entourage. The player believes that Real Madrid is the highest level footballer can reach, which is true. Saliba has been in talks with Real Madrid. It's the only club he'd be willing to leave Arsenal for. The defender does not intend to leave the Gunners, though, but the club will have to prove it's possible to win trophies. Best ways tonight. We've gone over the Comoso thing. He's having a breakout season with Fiorentina. Real Madrid have identified Ajax teenager Jerome Hato as a top left-back target. However, they face competition from Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool for the 19-year-old, says Sky Sports. We've seen that already. Should we click on this to see if there's anything else? Go over that in just a second. What else we got? Don't believe half of this. Oh, okay. That adds to it. We can repurpose this video to come out now. It's got some new names. You know, we're always thinking. The lap does have that dog in him, man. Get it done, man. Get it done. What's this? Real Madrid are not planning to make a move to sign Martin Zubimendi as they do not think they need him. His release clause is 60 million euros. It's tomorrow they'll say something else. Arsenal will make another move to sign PSG star Lee Kang-in this summer after failing to agree a deal in January. He's better than Carrot Skeeler, Luis Enrique. Give us Carrot Skeeler, man. You know you don't like him. He's not good, man. He's overrated. What else have we got? Brentford captain Odegaard believes Mbeumo is likely to leave the club this summer. I think Brian is likely to go. I don't know about Visa. Everyone hopes he might stay. Either way, I'm happy for the season and happy for both of them. They deserve it so much. Bring me Mbeumo, man. I'm not going to stop that propaganda. Aston Villa and Arsenal are eyeing a £42 million bid to sign Vlahovic. Big up the news dons, man. They're still peddling the Vlahovic one. The maximum fee Arsenal are prepared to pay to sign Mohamed Kudus. If it's more than 50, I'm not in it. TBR football chief correspondent Graham Bailey understands that Arsenal are not prepared to pay more than 50 million for Kudus this summer. Fair enough. It would be a profit, 38 million. It seems like Kudus has had a bit of a down of a season. I'd have to ask West Ham fans. In truth, I don't know. Kudus still has over 3 years left on his contract. The Irons even have an option to extend it by another 12 months. So there you have it. He's not going to come cheap. He primarily probably wants to play off the right, can play in a number of roles. I don't think this is going to happen. Although you wouldn't find an unhappy Arsenal fan in me if we signed Kudus. West Ham are ready to sell Kudus this summer. He's been linked with Saudi clubs. TBR can confirm that Arsenal, Liverpool, and Newcastle are all interested in his services. I mean, long-term Salah replacement or Salah option. I mean, Newcastle, if they get Mbeumo and or Kudus or either one to go with what they got with Gordon and Isaac, it's scary, you know. And obviously their midfield and obviously the other additions they look set to make. It's believed the Hammers are holding out for his release clause, which is set at 85 million, but none of the three interested clubs are prepared to pay over 50 million for him. Football's fickle, because if Kudus was playing to his standards, I think people would. But end of the day, performances dictate what people are going to do in it. Clubs in the Saudi Pro League are the only ones who'd be willing to trigger his release clause. And we understand that Kudus would consider a move to the Middle East, but his preference is to stay in Europe. Go get the money, my boy. Steve-O on Filthy said he doesn't seem happy at West Ham anymore. That could be something, but the best way to get out of something, if you can't change it immediately, is to change your attitude, no? And the best way to, maybe it's a bit fickle when agents can make things happen, but if you play out your skin with West Ham, it goes under the radar. I actually forgot West Ham are actually 17th. You get your move. Because have you been the best player? Like, I'm not watching West Ham week in, week out, but some West Ham fans say he's actually not been the best right winger for them this season. I don't know. You know, they probably do lose Kudus and Paqueta and whatnot, or have probably been braced to let them go at some period. TBR can further reveal that West Ham need to sell to be able to buy this summer in order to remain on the right side of PSL. Perfect Bukayo Saka replacement. I don't know about that. Kudus, apparently Adrian Clark said Kudus is a player that Arsenal had a long-term interest in. He's the perfect Bukayo Saka replacement. He can also do a job up front. Wonderful traveler with a ball at his feet. True. Arsenal are set to give Liverpool a guard of honor. I've spoken about this before. I think it needs to be done. This is sport. You congratulate the winners. Troy Deeney, I disagree with this, people. He said it's a load of old bollocks, and he said we don't give a guard of honor. We show them we're not nice guys anymore. It doesn't really make sense to me, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Apparently, there is 8 Arsenal stars fighting for their future ahead of the make or break Arsenal showdown. Partey was a huge miss. Who are these guys? We know Jorginho could be going. We know we're looking at Zubamendi. We know Partey's been linked with a new deal. If it was not for Partey's performances in Europe, they may have moved on already, and yet that now there's a dilemma on whether to renew one of the club's biggest earners. It's a bit disingenuous. I think he's been one of our best players in all competitions. They may have to sacrifice one of them to bring in a new winger. Martinelli has really stepped up, shining against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. Martinelli looks to have a future while Trossard is older. His contract is running down. While he's been a superb signing and squad member, his teammates may have grabbed the mantle. Kivior looks set to be heading for the exit door this summer with the likes of Zinchenko and Tini, but he's been excellent in the absence of Gabriel and may have staked his claim for another year. Calafiori has been a big disappointment. Disagree with that. After signing, in terms of fitness, I guess so, as Arsenal's biggest deal last summer, but the quality for new signings is availability. The 42 million defender has been plagued by injuries. Yeah. David Raya has been cold. We know we need to sign a goalkeeper or two. A bit of a nothing think piece. We've been linked with Christian Mosquera in the summer transfer window. That's according to Kandasar, who report Arsenal meet all the requirements set by the 20-year-old to decide his next club. The centre-back is looking for a Champions League club, competing for trophies where he can also continue his development. His contract expires in 2026 and he isn't ready to leave as a free agent. The defender wants interested clubs to negotiate with Valencia. This is another condition he has conveyed to all his suitors. He wants the club to benefit financially and collect 20 million with bonuses from his sale. The Spain under-21 international has refused an extension, meaning the upcoming window will be Valencia's last chance to earn a decent fee. Apparently, this report says Arsenal are preparing an offer for the young defender, but there's no mention of the fee they're willing to propose. New Ghana's sporting director, Andrea Berta, could have identified the Spaniard as a target. It's claimed Arteta's side are confident of being able to negotiate with Valencia for his transfer. Arsenal aren't alone, as Atletico Madrid and Villarreal also in the picture. The La Liga duo have to raise funds before making an approach for Mosquera. The North London club don't have this constraint, giving them a clear advantage in the transfer race. In the coming days, the player's agent will meet Valencia to officially convey interest in his client and to negotiate his transfer with the club of his choice. It could be Arsenal, but Candelisa haven't categorically specified it. Okay, fair play. We've gone over the Sesko stuff. Apparently, 3 clubs, including Arsenal, are having a look at him and are talking. 21 goals and 6 assists in 43 isn't bad, considering Leipzig have had an underwhelming season. And everybody's linked with the same strikers. Apparently, he's responded. Arsenal face paying a higher fee for Sesko this summer as his release clause with Leipzig has increased. What has he said? The clause started at 49.5 million in bracket 60 million, but it's now in excess of 66 million pounds, 80 million ahead of the summer. He admits his future is open. Right now, I'm 100% focused on Leipzig. Then we'll see what happens. It's open. Anything can happen. Fair enough. Fair enough. Apparently, Klopp spoke about him. I wonder if he'll do Liverpool a favour, because Liverpool need a 9. My plans with him are that he scores more goals. He's a good player. I've actually known him for a while. I already knew him when he was at Salzburg. I think we played a friendly here and he was very, very young. I was really impressed. I think, where did they get all these players from? I have no plans with him, just to make it clear. Don't get me wrong. I will not show up to training and tell him what to do. Our plan, I don't have to ask Marco Reus what his plan is with him. Sesko, I know it. He wants to help him score as many goals as possible. He has space for improvement, space for development, incredible skill set, incredible potential. So I'm happy we have him. Fair play. What else have we got? We've gone over the Kudus thing. We're unlikely to pay his release clause, says TalkSport. We know about that. Arsenal and Liverpool are still being linked with Hugo Ekitike. Frankfurt won 100 million, whether he's worth that or not. We've gone over the Kang Yang Lee stuff, people. What is this? Mbuema. We've gone over that. Mbuema apparently has a 60 million asking price. What is this? We've gone over the Bournemouth thing. I really hate how different articles say the same thing in different ways. We've gone over that. We most for sure have. There's nothing there. And don't forget, people, 11:30, we will be doing a reaction stream regardless of what happens, people. So that appears to be the transfer news sentiment or segment, pan. What else are you lot saying? Is Saka leaving? I hope not. I hope not. Beg tonight they actually play like we're in the semis. Amen. 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 What's all of this? Hey. What's going on, man? What happened the last time when Haaland came M5? He got humbled and his team got... Yep. Don't get emotional, people, man. Don't bite the bait. Don't bite the bait, man. Don't bite the bait. You just say, hey, yo, Partey is back. Yep. Hopefully he makes a difference. but we just have to have everything crossed, man, and hope for the best, man. But on that note, though, people, I'm not gonna lie to you. We've been here longer than I thought, as we always are. It's a pleasure to be here with you lot. I'm back at 11:30. There'll be videos coming out throughout the day, people. So yeah, man, I gotta go and handle some life admin, and I'll see you lot soon as usual. Thank you for hitting the like button. Big up you lot on Twitch. Big up you lot engaging. Even big up you lot with the trolls, man. Hopefully we do the impossible today, man. If you don't hit the like button, we ain't gonna do it.